Arman Tsarukyan just went off on Ilia Topuria again. In a fiery new interview, Arman called Ilia a complete fake, saying the persona he puts on in real life is nothing like the confident, flashy character he plays on social media, and then he went even further, clowning Ilia for those private jet photos he always posts. According to Arman, Ilia doesn't own anything. He rents the jet, takes the pictures, posts them like he's living that lifestyle, and then acts like he's too big to fight anyone. Arman says the whole thing is manufactured, and he's tired of it. Meanwhile, a big surprise in the lightweight division might be on the way. Top welterweight Sean Brady has openly revealed that he is seriously considering dropping to 155, and the chances of that happening are very high. He says the cut is doable, and stylistically, the fights down there interest him way more. Brady is coming off a knockout loss to the undefeated Michael Morales, who is quietly building his own case to chase Islam Makhachev's throne. If Brady really makes that drop, the lightweight division gets even more chaotic. Who would you like to see Brady face in his potential lightweight debut? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's see what Tsarukyan had to say.
No, my focus is 155. It's a Ilia. I want to get title here. I'm a real 155 pound fighter, and that's why I want to be a champion here and then defend that title as much as possible.
Okay, but do you think eventually you will get the Islam fight? And can I just ask which one means more to you? Just the opponent, beating Islam or beating Ilia?
Right now, beating Ilia.
Even though the history is with Islam? You have more of a history with Islam, right?
Yes, I do have, but he moved to 170 and he's not going to come down anymore.
Okay. Who would mean more in terms of beating? Like, who don't you like more?
Ilia Topuria.
Why?
Because he's a fake. I mean, on the real life, he behaving different. On the camera, he's talking shit and like completely different guy.
Islam Makhachev has spoken out after UFC Qatar, and he had big praise for Arman Tsarukyan. Islam said Arman did exactly what a #1 contender is supposed to do, and that he expected Arman to win, but not in that kind of domination over Dan Hooker. Islam says Arman didn't just win, he made a real statement and showed he's earned his title shot. Then Islam admitted he actually regrets not moving up to welterweight earlier. He talked about how, for years, he forced himself to cut massive amounts of weight, even when he was already a champion. But in his recent welterweight fight, he wasn't smaller, he felt equal in size, and that made him realize he could have moved up a long time ago, instead of draining himself all these years. And while Islam's reign at 170 is grabbing global headlines, Shavkat Rakhmonov quietly stepped in and threw gasoline on the fire. Shavkat questioned how impressive Islam's win over JDM actually is. We'll dive into that in a minute. A fight between Rakhmonov and Islam would be huge, especially in the Russian region where he's already a massive star. Remember, even the rumors of him fighting Khamzat Chimaev years ago blew up the entire Russian MMA community. Now add Islam's name to that mix, and suddenly one of the coldest undefeated talents on the roster is openly circling the new 2-division champion.
Were you surprised at how dominant Islam looked in his 170-pound debut against JDM a couple of weekends ago?
Yeah, I believe Islam had a great performance, but I also want to find out for myself. Is it JDM had such a bad performance, or Islam had such a good performance? I believe I'm a universal fighter. I can make it hard for him everywhere. So, yeah, I just want to find out for myself what's going to happen.
Arman Tsarukyan just went on Daniel Cormier's channel and dropped an absolute bombshell. A few days ago, Ilia Topuria posted that viral clip of him bumping into Arman backstage, putting his hand on Arman's neck in a playful but also passive-aggressive way. Later, Ilia went online saying Arman didn't do anything in person and only talks on the internet. And now Arman has flipped the whole narrative. On DC's show, he revealed exactly what Ilia told him in that moment. According to Tsarukyan, Ilia straight up confirmed that their fight is next and that he will defend his lightweight belt against Tsarukyan as his first 155 title defense after knocking out Charles Oliveira, and suddenly all the puzzle pieces fall into place. The UFC has been silent about Ilia's next move for weeks because they were waiting to see what Arman would do at UFC Qatar, and he delivered. He destroyed Dan Hooker, made a statement, and now it all lines up. According to Topuria himself, the UFC have confirmed that Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan is next for the lightweight belt, and the road to that fight just became clear. The two are expected to meet in February of 2026, set to headline one of Paramount's first major events. Alright, let's dive in.
Wait, he said hi to you.
He's dead. No, he said, brother, how are you? This is just media thing, this, that. And then he said, yeah, UFC told me you're next. I said, yes, finally.
You're like, yo, this is crazy.
No,
but this is what we want, though. This is what the fans want.
Yeah.
Michael Bisping and Paul Felder just weighed in on Lerone Murphy, hinting that he might jump to lightweight for a one-off fight because the featherweight division feels stagnant. And both of them think this would be a huge mistake. In their eyes, Murphy has spent years grinding his way into legit title contention, finally getting his name mentioned among the top guys, and right now, he is one of the leading candidates for a shot at Alexander Volkanovski. Moving up for a random lightweight fight would be like throwing all that momentum away. Meanwhile, the rest of the division is moving in weird directions. Diego Lopez wants to stay active and already told MMA Junkie that he wants one more fight before the end of the year, aiming to keep himself sharp for a potential Volk rematch. Alex himself praised Diego for that wild win over Silva, but at the same time, he is clearly looking at the whole contender field instead of jumping straight back into that fight. And then you have Movsar Evloev, undefeated, and the guy most people see as the rightful number one contender, yet he is stuck in the longest inactive stretch of his career. Almost 11 months now with no fight, and fans have started grouping him with other inactive ranked fighters like Shavkat Rakhmonov and Arnold Allen, calling for the UFC to force movement or pull people from the rankings if they keep sitting out. Even with all that criticism, a ton of fans on Twitter still rate Evloev as the next in line over Murphy and even over Yair Rodriguez. Back in May, he teased a non-title fight after Volkanovski himself pushed for that matchup, but nothing has been booked. Right now, it looks like early 2026 is the window to watch.
Hamilton's put in, Lerone Murphy says that 145 is too stagnant, wants a fight in December but hasn't got one. Is considering a move up to 155. I'm not sure that's the move.
No, I don't think so. I get it that he wants to stay active, and who knows his reasonings behind that, but that's tough. You're so close. I mean, I just think he needs to keep pressing and trying to figure out when this title fight's going to be. But that also sounds like maybe they're either going to skip him, or maybe he's just trying to really make it clear, like, hey, am I doing this thing? Am I fighting Volk? Who's Volk fighting? Because I need a fight, and if you're not going to give it to me, I'm willing to fight up a weight division just to get another paycheck before.
Who do you think deserves the title shot at 145? Leave your thoughts and predictions in comments below. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.